Yo, what's going on? So the nature of this video was pretty random until something happened. And I think the random that happened was I was literally starting, not necessarily doubting myself or doubting the process, but I was just kind of looking at the process and I was kind of just like, maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe I'm not doing something right. And literally what changed everything for me in that moment was this. You're not going to probably be able to see it, but that's right. Camera's freaking out. It doesn't know what to look at. But if you can see that right there, that is the real Mad Maxie. That's the real Mad Maxie. And I randomly just saw it. It popped up and I was just like confused at first because sometimes, you get a lot of trolls and a lot of like clones and stuff like that. So I went to the account and sure enough, it was actually the real Mad Maxie. And I was kind of confused. So I was like, what video did he like? What video did he comment? He didn't comment, but like, what video did he show interest in? And I watched it. And I watched the clip and I was just like, at first, initially, I was just like, why the hell would he like this? It was just so random. And I was just like, I had to watch it again. And then I watched it a third time and then a fourth time. And then I realized what I missed from the first, second, third time. He probably liked it because it was authentic. It was just authentic. And it was literally a clip from one of my live streams that I did. And I was just answering some questions about my opinions on certain things in the motorcycle community or in particularly a certain motorcycle, S-1000 and stuff like that, and track riding and stuff like that. And I had mentioned something about Adobo taking his this is brand new 2025 Gixxer. I forgot what he calls it, but after the fact, but he ended up wrecking his Ducati V4 on the track. And I was referencing that and I was saying that, for me, I'm not at the level of Adobo. I'm not at the level of Mad Maxie or Max Wrist or Saiyan, nowhere near. But I was just like, damn, like I would have taken a clapped out 600 to the track to build my confidence to the level where I would feel like I could take a brand new bike out to the track and not have any problems, versus Adobo doing it and ending in like kind of disaster in the way that it did. But again, Adobo's in a completely different echelon. And his confidence has been built up from years of track riding. So is Mad Maxie. So is, Saiyan and, all those guys that are crazy at riding on the roads and on the track. But Adobo's at a level where he felt like I can take a brand new V4 out there and erase it on the track. The only other person I've really seen do that is Max Wrist. And he's like making podiums and winning trophies. And in my head, I'm just like, oh my God, he's racing a brand new Ducati. What is he thinking? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy to me. So seeing Adobo do that, to me, it gave me confidence. Like, damn, dude, like you got to really believe in your skill to do something like that and not be a professional, right? And obviously, even the professionals wreck $1 million bikes all the time. And it just is what it is. It's part of the game. But I think ultimately what gave me like a boost of confidence, not only to make this video, is just simply that I was kind of just feeling like I don't really know if what I'm doing is actually important or if it's actually reaching many people or if it's doing what I intended it to do, and that is to like kind of just educate people on things outside of the glamorous aspects of the current motorcycle community. So like I said, I was kind of like just kind of wondering, like, like, and what I'm trying to do, is it actually effective? Is it filling the gap? You know what I mean? Because essentially what I want to do is fill the gap. I'm not the only one trying to fill the gap, but what I'm just trying to do is, like, the way I see it is, like, for example, when I'm watching like gaming videos, I watch, like, for example, one of my favorite games is Rainbow Six Siege. Rainbow Six Siege to me is like amazing. And I do have a handful, if not like 2 or like 3 tops people that I watch for Rainbow Six Siege content. Now, once I am burnt out on those 3 creators, I tend to usually look for other creators in the same niche or in the same spot that are doing something uniquely different that makes the genre or makes the game feel a little bit refreshed, right? Not so much what I'm seeing from my top 3 creators. And so I know that I am super low on the totem pole, but what I am trying to do is fill in that gap. I'm trying to be that 3rd or 4th wave that people tend to go to once they're done watching the bigger YouTubers, right? Because what you're going to see from the bigger YouTubers are going to be very similar with a slight variation to production style or whatever it is you want to call it, and personality, right? But when you're done with that, what else do you watch? You know what I mean? Like, what else can you get out of the community besides just the top people that you watch? And that's kind of what I'm aiming to do. And I was just, kind of questioning, like, damn, is what I'm doing, like I said, effective? And when I came across that, when that popped up on my screen and I was able to verify that it was the real Mad Maxi, it did give me a sense of like clarity, like, just keep doing what you're doing, because that video that he liked literally had 615 views, 26 likes, and 17 comments at the time, which was probably not long ago. It was probably like an hour ago at the timing of this video. So in my head, I'm just like, well, what? Like, I wonder what he found as a value to even scroll and actually leave a like, you know what I mean? And to me, what I ultimately found was just that I was just being authentic. It was a live stream. I was answering questions live, and it's really hard to fake who you are when you're live. It's just really hard. That's why I love live streaming, because I think that it shows a level of authenticity to your character that you can't fake behind edits, that you can't fake behind, you know what I mean, like an organized planned YouTube video. It's just live. So however you come off is however you're going to present yourself, and people are going to see it. They're either going to like it or they're not. Now, like I said, when you make a production video where you're doing edits and all those things, you can kind of manipulate what your character, the character that you want to put out to the public, versus editing those other versions out that you don't want people to necessarily see. So like I said, that's why I like live. And I think ultimately it's probably why he ended up just liking a video. For him, probably just scrolling and seeing like just other content creators in the same space doing something completely different just probably was just his thing. And he was just like, well, damn, that's probably pretty good. Maybe. Again, I don't know. I did reach out to him and just told him, like, which was funny because when I saw that, I was just like, damn, I just made a video. Or I didn't even make a video. I was just commenting to somebody who commented to one of my videos on YouTube, on the YouTube platform, that what inspired me, it was some comment that it was made about the track or something like that. And I was saying something like, I was considering buying maybe like an R3, just to learn the mechanics and the basics of riding on a track. Because I don't necessarily care about speed. And I think that's what it was. I think I was saying like, well, what really inspired me was what I saw a video of Mad Maxi, Max Wrist, and I think Sam, and they were going at it on 300 in the 300 class, and they were battling it out. And Mad Maxie was like super humble before the race and was saying like, I'm not gonna win, you know what I mean, kind of thing. Like, and he was just giving mad props, you know what I'm saying, to Maxiris and saying, and it was just cool to see. And it was really cool to see them going full scale, balls to the wall on small class CC bikes. And literally what it boiled down to in the end was just skill. And of course, the person with the bigger bike actually won, but a lot of it just comes down to skill. You know what I mean? Just because you have a bigger CC engine or have the advantage in the class doesn't necessarily mean you are going to win. It comes down to skill. You can make a mistake. Somebody can capitalize on that. You may not be able to get back in front. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is, but that video inspired me. And I just thought it was kind of ironic that he ended up liking that video. And when I was just like speaking about him, and so I thought, it was cool. It was really, really cool. And it really, just like I said, reaffirmed that, you may not have all the views that you want. You may not think you're getting the credit that you deserve. I'm closing in on 500 subscribers on YouTube, and sometimes I think that I should be more further along than I am, but at the same time, I'm swallowing that humble pill, and I'm just like, I just don't deserve it yet, right? I gotta keep grinding. I gotta keep pushing. I just gotta keep doing what I enjoy doing. That's making content. And I abandoned the view count kind of stuff a while ago. It did take me some time to get over it, but now I just put out content that I'm proud of, that I like, and I don't look at those kind of numbers and make it the determining factor whether it is I'm being successful or not. The other thing that I have to get over now is looking at the subscriber count, because I do equate the subscriber account, the supporter account, as being a tool to measure if I am reaching the audience that I want and if I'm being successful at it. So, it's funny that in that particular time that I was looking at that, I was at 484 and now I'm at 489. So it is growing, but sometimes we get restless and we just want to grow faster. So I'm keeping that in mind, right? And I like to keep a level of transparency to everybody that does watch, because again, we all want to grow, and we all want to be seen, and we all want our content to be meaningful for that certain group or certain niche of people and in the same space. And like I said before, I'm not the guy that's going to be popping wheelies. I'm not the guy that's going to be going 189 miles an hour down the highway. I'm not the guy that is the best stunter or can stunt. I have to find my lane and carve it out, right? And so this is part of the process. It's not going to be easy. It's not easy at all. And maybe if I had some of those traits, like being able to pop wheelies and, not really care about my livelihood and go hella crazy down the highway, I think I would be able to get those types of views that I feel like I deserve, but it comes at a cost. And I'm just not willing to do that. You know what I mean? So yeah, shout out to Mad Maxie, man. Like I said, I sent him a message and I just told him that, he inspired me to really get on the track and not necessarily be worried about the class or the CC of my bike, and to just get something as small as a 300 and get out there and learn the mechanics and learn how to ride, and you'll be happy. You know what I mean? Your skills will improve. That'll translate to the street, so on and so forth. And so I just told him, I was like, you probably will never see this comment, or this message, but if you do, thank you. But yeah, man. Also, it teaches me that some of these guys that have huge subscriber bases, you just never know who's really watching you. You may feel like you're a small fry, you may feel insignificant, but you know, your content is going to attract like-minded people, and you never know who's watching. You know what I mean? I never would have thought in a million years that he would have been watching one of my reels. And again, I just started my TikTok back up because I just really thought TikTok was going to get banned, and I had a personal account a while back and I just never really utilized it and used it. And so I deleted it when I heard that the ban was coming, and I decided to get back on it. And so I've been posting. I got a new account and I've been posting and posting and posting. And honestly, I think as of the time of this video, like, I'm only following 5 people. I got 18 followers and 437 likes. So, you know what I mean? Again, the chances of my videos coming up in his feed or wherever he was looking, and he was able to notice it and interacted with my content, to me is huge, because like I said, that could be anybody. And that's also how connections can get built as well. People like that may reach out to you. People like that may, you know, you never know. You never know what's going to happen. But the point is that you never know who's watching, and you never know what could happen, right? So, you know, like I said, shout out to Mad Maxie, man. I enjoy his content. I think he's a wild, he's a wild guy that just has incredible control over motorcycles, man. He's, you know, not everybody's blessed with that. So I enjoy watching his content. Like I said, he's inspiring, and it just blew my mind that he interacted with a piece of my content. And so I'm just saying that to say this. I know I've been saying it over and over, but you have to just keep making content, right? Keep making content. You know, that it's really, really important. You just don't know who you're ever going to reach. You just don't know who you may inspire, or, you know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe what he watched might inspire him to make, go in deeper, or build on a certain topic that I may have covered. I don't know. Maybe not, you know, but the fact is that whatever I did, it affected him enough to interact with it. And so you just never know who's watching. So keep making content. Don't be discouraged if you're not like out in the scenes, out in the streets. Some of these other guys are that maybe have the privilege to go to a lot of these meets and try to surround themselves with a lot of the most relevant motovloggers that are relevant at this time. Like my boy Hollywood is, you know, he's putting himself out there a lot, and he has the opportunity to do so. So I enjoy watching his videos of him just being able to get around some of the guys that are, like I said, the most popular in the space at the time. And that's really, really cool. And not everybody can do that. You know what I'm saying? So he's built up a level of contacts and things like that to be around those kind of people, and or to get around those kind of people. And that's commendable, man. That's pretty cool, because, you know, not everybody can do that. You know what I'm saying? So if you can do that, you know, maximize whatever you can, take advantage of whatever you can, and be humble at the same time. So with somebody like me not in that position, all I can do is just continue to make content, and believe that at some point I won't be ignored, right? It would be my biggest pleasure to get with a lot of these guys that I vibe with personally, and just kind of learn from them, and, you know, spit game with them, kick game with them, and you know, just vibe, man. You know what I'm saying? Just vibe. And it doesn't have to even be on like some public stuff. It just be like just connections. You know what I'm saying? Like, just, hey man, I'm doing this. Shoot me a text. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, can you tell me what you do with this? Or how do you manage this? Or, you know, what ideas do you go through with this? And, you know, how often do you post? How do you come up with these things? You know what I'm saying? Like, who does your thumbnails? Who's your thumbnail guy? You know what I'm saying? Things like that. Things of that nature, where you don't necessarily have to be on the forefront posting everything in public, but you just have the connection. And, you you know, that's what to me, that's what it's all about. So, you know what I'm saying? We're going to keep grinding, man. We're going to keep grinding. Not only are we grinding to build this motovlog channel and the motovlog socials, but I'm also using this as a platform to push my brand that I have been running for quite a while, since 2020. And one of my brands is extremely successful, and I'm trying to build the second brand, Cloth and Craft, to another level. And it's going slow, but it's a grind. It's a slow grind. And so again, I'm all about the grind. I'm all about putting in the work, and I'm finding ways to integrate them and to build. So you know, it's work. It's work. I initially set out to release one video a day, whether it was a long format or short. You guys will hear me say it all the time. You guys will hear me say it all the time. And I've gotten to the point where I have decided that, you know, some days one video ain't enough. And so I'm dropping multiple videos just at the whim. I'm just dropping multiple videos when I feel it, when I feel the need to post, and the things that aren't necessarily like niche focused, I'm just posting stories. So I'm trying, you know, I'm trying to elevate, I'm trying to push the boundaries. And what I'm really ultimately trying to do is show people that you can build from nothing and really get something going, right? And you don't need flashy videos, you don't need the wheelies, you don't need the stunts that we're accustomed to seeing. You don't need the ultra glamorous episodes, you don't need the, you know, the ultra edited storylines and things like that. Just get out there and make content about what you feel great about. If you like to ride and you just like to make motovlogs and you don't really enjoy talking just yet, get out there and just make content and try to figure out the best ways that you can to make it, figure out the best ways that you can to make it the most appealing, and just get comfortable with being in front of a camera. Like I said, I fell in love with it, man. I love it. I love doing this, and I really fell in love with creating content that is meaningful to me. And I'm hoping to just continue to grind and continue to show y'all that. And I think it'll pay off. But, you know, nothing that you build is going to come easy. And if it does come easy, usually you're not in a position like to sustain the attention. You know what I mean? It's like winning the lottery. Most people are, you know, you play the lottery in hopes to win, but if you unexpectedly win, you're not even prepared to maintain. You know what I'm saying? So I think that what I'm doing is building up a strong foundation to be in a position to hopefully at some point maintain the attention, and to maintain, you know what I'm saying, to maintain that. And yeah, that's what I'm doing. So it is what it is. Catch y'all guys in the next video. Peace.